I am Geoffrey Villanduin in the Gwyned campaign from Thrones of Britannia. You may remember that all-out war has just engulfed much of Britannia, much of England and Wales, all the big factions there. Not only that, but we have just defeated a large Gwent army. Another way is open to Caer Gwent and the ancient heartlands of Arthur's Old Kingdom. Blendry, the king of Gwent, has died in battle. Here is our king, King Anarot. He has leveled up his quartermaster. He also had a daughter. West Seaxe has taken Oxford from us. They've started their attack, their offensive. East Anglia has made truce with Hylrborg. Targets have been lost, no big deal. We have a great forge in Staffordshire. Here is Dinkat, one of our governors. He has gained a follower. Could be a forager or a quartermaster. He's actually a governor, and he's very close to West Seaxe. He may be attacked. So a bard might actually be of some use to him.
Every man will do his duty.
So here's one of our generals, Rodri. We have some loyalty issues. Kinwallen, one of our new generals, has low loyalty. Let's see if we have any estates. I don't think we have any. His loyalty is 2, so he's okay for the time being. So here's Guladus, the newborn daughter of our king. And here's the border with West Seaxe. Here is Kinwallen, this general. He's within striking distance of a couple of the enemy settlements, Gizamberg and Buttoncaster. Buttoncaster must be the city of Bath. Okay, so we sacked the city of Bath and we can now occupy.
As commanded. Bring their doom.
Heroism is up to 68.
My warriors will not falter.
I'm hoping to achieve the heroic victory.
Get moving.
And the men of Devon recruited another army, so they have a new king now. We've just attacked them. They retreated. We are near Gridiatoon, this town in Devon. We'll attack him a second time. Here's their king. We have massive superiority. Their men are raw recruits. Well, that was a quick and hopefully painless death of their new king. We can take on their warriors. The enemy king Edred has died. He died in battle. And Arthgal, the general here, has gained a follower. We leveled up his quartermaster, and he has taken Gridiatoon. He sacked it and then occupied it. And he can now train his army there. Exeter is still under siege by those rebels. They are now very strong. They have a full army of 20 units. Here's our king. He's within striking distance of Caer Gwent. Let's go for the glory of the Cymry. Gwent has a new king. He was just outside Caer Gwent and we have attacked him. The odds are massively in our favor. The garrison of Caer Gwent comes out to reinforce him, to his aid. And now Gwent is doomed. So if you remember, Caer Leon was the capital of King Arthur. It was around Newport, modern Newport or modern Cardiff. It was around that area. It was a Roman castle called Caer Leon. Not very far from Caer Gwent, so we can assume this is really the heartland of King Arthur's old kingdom. And we have a massive army. The poor king has just a few men with him. Of course he has the garrison of Caer Gwent coming out to reinforce him, so it's not all that bad, but it's not all that great either. So let's start the battle. Fog. We are in Wales. Dry? Okay, why not? This is supposed to be a wintry landscape. It looks fairly wintry. So here is our army.
The enemy has reinforcements.
So we're sending our cavalry to attack the enemy king, who has just a few men with him. Here they are. So he has a cavalry bodyguard, but of course he's massively outnumbered.
Our general is under attack.
True Britons, indeed.
Raise shields.
Wish there was a mechanic so that the enemy could offer quarter and the enemy could surrender. It would be more honorable.
The enemy general is dead.
So we kill the enemy general. So here's the enemy army, the garrison of Caer Gwent. They're running towards their king. It's a little too late now. This isn't really much of a battle, but if I didn't do this battle, there wouldn't be a battle in this episode. Now you might say, how is that so? Because we have this massive war now. But unfortunately it was a war of movement rather than a war of battles, as you will see. So our cavalry has noticed once again that the enemy has left its missile units behind. They're around here. There are some javelin men, some archers. Once again the AI made the same mistake. It separated its missile units from the main army. Hopefully Creative Assembly will fix this.
See, they flee before our might.
So here's our army. We are getting organized here. The enemy actually, the AI, to its credit, decided to attack us while we were maneuvering. And so there is a very messy layout at this point with armies all over the place. Very disorganized. There's no real front line at this point, and their units just all over the place. We were trying to take position on, we were marching across the field and they attacked us where I thought they would stay put. And so here's a little bit of the fighting. We have some heavy spearmen with us, we have some very good units. This is the king's army. The spearmen have lamella armor. That's very interesting. Some of them have lamella armor, some of them have mail. So here's our king. He's taking part in the fighting. Now he's pulling out of this melee here. He looks very glorious. he's overseeing the battle, giving courage to his men. The outcome of this battle is now a foregone conclusion. And we more or less now defeated the enemy army. They're just a few men routing. They are being chased by some of our cavalry. And that was the end of the battle. We lost 13 men. The odds were very much in our favor, so that's nothing too surprising. And Gwined is now ours. A decisive victory. We can take on their warriors, they are Welsh. They are now freed. Of course we have to take this settlement. We could have perhaps liberated it, but it has symbolic value as it is the seat or one of the main castles of King Arthur. So Gwent was no match for their enemies. They are no more. We can retrain our army, the white shields. And we could, in principle, appoint a governor here. This guy, Cadwallader, seems like a good guy. He has a merchant among his followers, or he is a merchant himself. And he lost in loyalty by being appointed governor of this place, Gwined. Don't understand why this happened. Cadwallader. There are two Cadwalladers, both of them suffering from low loyalty. We have, it looks like we have an estate in Gwined. Let's give it one of the two Cadwalladers, so hopefully that fixed the situation. Okay, it looks like just one more general has low loyalty. And West Seaxe have gathered just two large armies and one or two smaller, just single generals, like what we are doing. And they've taken one more settlement. They've taken Cirencester. And they're marching towards Gloucester with their two armies. So one of them is almost certainly their king. They are fully trained armies. They have full complement of soldiers. They are on green. We only have one army. It's also full complement of an army. We have Polly is also sending an army in this direction. Their army is near Hereford. So they've taken Cirencester, and they've got two armies now approaching Gloucester. We also have two big armies approaching Gloucester. It looks like it could be a showdown here. And we can start some new tech. Master Spearmen, offensive tactics are possibilities. We'll go for offensive tactics. You can also get some cavalry specialists. I'll stick with offensive tactics, I think. Plus 15 melee. And here's Arthwell. He's a governor somewhere. Can't remember where. Would be nice if it said where these governors are based. Ah, yes, he's based in Tintagel. So it's a place near Penzance that's also associated with King Arthur, with his parents. And Iowa is our king's captain. He's in Stock in the Midlands near Chester. He's got 4 units. He's keeping an eye on Northumbria, who are also at war. And there are some rebels across the other side near Nottingham, which is spelled as Snottingham. That's interesting. And we have more camp there with some very elite units, it seems, at least a few elite units, not many. So they can join force and attack those rebels if they venture into our territory. And we have also a general there at Lan Idlos, keeping an eye just in case things go wrong. We can upgrade that church into a priory, I think. Here is our king. It's just within reach of Gloucester, and the king of Poitiers, it seems, his brother, is also on his way. Here is Kinwallen. He's just taken Bath, and he can attack another one of the settlements. So you see, it's like a game of chess now, almost. You kind of make a move, the enemy makes a move, you take a settlement, the enemy takes a settlement. And we have to see who wins.
We will do you proud.
Okay, here's the other general down there. Arthur's champions. You have some generals who have the same name. So we have a Northgall general and a Northgall who is a governor. So here's the Arthgall who's a general, and he's taking this place, Wyket. He sacked it and then he occupied it. Both Arthgalls actually are in this part of the world, in southwest England. One of them is the governor of Cornwall, and the other one is a general here. Kinwallen can also take something. He's in Bath, he can take this place, Shaftesbury perhaps. So West Seaxe has a lot of vassals.
Every man will do his duty,
including Sussex. Okay, we can take this place, Shaftesbury. It's fairly safe down here. It's far away from those 2 large armies. But I'm hoping that those 2 large armies will be enticed to come this way to recover their lost provinces, or the lost settlements, and not attack Gloucester. So we've taken this place, we sacked it, and we occupied it. We have a loyalty issue, probably. We have new estates we can distribute. We have to switch to the estates. Yeah, we have a new estate in this place, Wyket. Or was it? Wyket, I think. We can give it to someone, potentially to this guy, Maddock. Oh no, there's another guy higher up, this Cadwallader and Rodri. Rodri has 0 loyalty. We have plenty of people who have low loyalty. Cadwallader also has low loyalty, 0 loyalty. Okay, so he gets Wyket. This hopefully fix the situation. Yeah, everyone's happy now. If you give it to the guy highest up on the list of the upset people, then all the other ones below him usually are pacified.
Our spirits are resolute.
So here is Maddock. If Powers helps us out, we can contain the situation here. I'm fairly sure. We also have the garrison of Gloucester, and I think it has a good garrison. And we set up a coordination target there on one of their main forces.
My warriors will not falter.
We have a general here, Rhodri, and
Hard and fast.
we've taken their
We
settlement.
obey.
So I think one of our allies, Heiselwig, had defeated the enemy armies of these other vassal of Wessex. And then they had marched into the territory, and they had possibly sacked one of the settlements, but they hadn't occupied it, so we just occupied it. So here's a solitary enemy general. He's doing the sort of thing we're doing. So he's around Evesham. He's not very far from Gloucester now. Evesham is in the Cotswolds. And so probably they're about to do what we're doing. So use their minor solitary generals to take minor settlements and use their large armies to attack our large armies. And here's an army of Dyfling coming our way. Looks like they've reached North Wales, I should think. Indeed. They're not very far from our capital, from Aberfrog. That's very worrying. So here's that enemy army. Is that faction that was a vassal of Wessex? Well, they are still a vassal of Wessex. I forget what they are called. Glywysig. Okay, one of the Irish factions, I think, Dubgail, has been destroyed. We have demolished the copper smelter in Devon because it was causing public water issues down here in Totnes. Those rebels are still laying siege. No, they have taken Exeter. And just as I was hoping, we're in the summer of 887 AD. The Wessex armies are coming out towards Devon in this area, sort of Somerset down here. They've been enticed by the fact of taking their smaller settlements, and because we have strong armies now approaching Gloucester. Pedro, who is the governor, has gotten a follower, so we can give him probably a scribe or a forager. In this increasingly complex world, it's always useful to have good scribes. A priest is also a possibility. It improves loyalty, but he's fairly loyal. I'm new to this game, so let's have a look around. Okay, taking a forager, that will improve the food situation and unit replenishment. So one of the armies, the West Seaxe armies, has ventured south towards our men there, and the other army is staying around Gloucester, but they've been divided, they lost their focus. In the meantime, this general of ours, Rodri, has taken yet another settlement from Gwyned, Lan Ildert. Okay, it's been already sacked. No, we just sacked it. No, it was all... yeah, we just sacked it, and we can occupy it now.
Bring their doom! As commanded! Right now!
And our General Kinwallen, here in Somerset, has now taken Wilton. Okay, so both West Seaxe armies have now marched south. They've given up on this idea of attacking Gloucester because our king is here and the King of Powys is not far away. So we're very strong here, and so West Seaxe now have lost the plot. So you can see the King of Powys has already penetrated into enemy territory. War fervor is going down. That's just what you need when you start a war. War fervor to go down. Look, it's minus 35. Wow. So, one of the enemy big stacks has taken Bath back. We finished the lumber yard in Staffordshire. We finished something else in Oswaldstorow. We do have money to build things. We also have money to hire armies. But we don't need to hire more armies.
Every man will do his duty.
So Arthgal can take yet another settlement.
Yes.
We're spreading out our settlements so that we keep the enemy on the back foot. So we can take this place, Bridgeport, Brightport, Bridport, and we can now occupy it. So we first sacked it, and then we can occupy. So even if the enemy takes them back, they'll be all sacked, so the economy will be suffering a little bit. They have to pay money to repair them. So here we have another king, another general, Kinwallen, and he's in Wilton.
Agreed.
And he can now take Southampton.
Warriors, attack!
First we sacked it, and then we can occupy it. It'll be very hard for them now to take back all these settlements. It looks like we have now the upper hand. We keep attacking ahead of them, and they only have two main armies. We have more.
Let the enemy beware.
So they're gonna lose this war. And we recruited a new general there, Iliad.
Rodri's son will prove his worth.
There's an enemy soldier general here. He's dead meat if he doesn't disappear quickly. Okay, he made a mistake to stay there, so he's dead. We lost 24 men somehow.
My deeds increase my renown.
I'm sure I wouldn't have lost so many men if I fought this battle manually. Never mind. War fervor has gone slightly up, I think. And Maddock has gained a quartermaster. So up here the situation is safe, so they can't penetrate into our heartlands, you know, so Wales is safe, Wales and Mercia, and so the war will now be fought in West Seaxe, on their own lands.
We will.
And we've taken back Cirencester.
For duty. We will serve you well. Warriors into position.
So we have two armies here, and they can are within reinforcement distance of each other, and the Powys King is not far away. And Rodri is suffering from a loyalty issue. There he is, 0 loyalty. Goodness me. So we've taken a couple of estates here, we can give him one. Southampton. Must be pleased with that, his loyalty has gone up to 5 from 0. And Eliud has also low loyalty, we can give him the other province, Shaftesbury. The other estate. And we cannot retrain this army, but it's fairly strong. Wilton is near Stonehenge. Glywysig has been destroyed. There was a Welsh faction. The last Welsh faction, there was a vassal of West Seaxe. So West Seaxe has lost now all its Welsh vassals. Here's the West Seaxe army. They're trying to take back those settlements they just lost. They're sending these two armies to take this one settlement, Wilton. Is it so important? This is where you win without fighting battles, by outmaneuvering the enemy. So we are taking more settlements that he could take back now. Oh dear, we lost a young boy called Mike. He died at the age of 1. Tudwal, one of our governors, is fair-minded. Offensive tactics have been completed, and that was the end of this 7th episode of the Gwined campaign. Thank you for watching.